What's
So,
interesting, David, that you mentioned, well, Adam mentioned the AORs, and now we're mentioning the marriage contracts that, your pastor or priest handing out candy. Um, when you fill out an AOR, Adam, you talked about this, but when you fill it out, I think I actually mentioned this to you too, David, but you feel this sense of calm and peace. You don't have that conflict that you were united with that demonic empire. And the same thing in marriage. I just married a couple just last February, and they had asked me to officiate, but they do not want to sign a contract with the state. And so we did the whole Bible thing. We did the affidavit, and it was wonderful. And their marriage, even though they're still young, they haven't had the similar problems that other couples have had being married to the state. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the F word is an acronym. FUCK means to fornicate under the consent of the king. Because when you get married to the state, you get married to the king, ultimately to, Britain. So when you get married to the king allows you to procreate so that you can keep fueling his kingdom system so that, you just keep making babies. But at any time during the marriage, before, during, or after, the king can come and have sex with either, this is the way that it was, with either the man or the woman. And that's the way that it was. But it's the conflict that people have that you've mentioned, David, that, when you don't have this contract with God and you don't have this unity with God, that you're actually married to another. Or if your contract with, I'm speaking on the AORs now, pre-AOR, I'll tell you that there was a conflict and it was stress and it was hard. After the AOR, I got to tell you, there's this relief. And the same thing with being actively married under God, not to the state, but to your wife or women, to husbands. There's like this peace, this calm. You don't have that same conflict, that soul conflict that, leads to inevitable divorce sometimes for those people that just can't handle it.
right. And, I've seen quite a few people that were married without the state. And their relationships, every one of those couples are still together. Some of them have been married quite a while. I don't see the conflicts. I don't see the fighting in their relationship. I don't see the divorces happening. It just, everything is more solid, that's the people about when somebody's an empath or truly loves other human beings, it starts to treat other human beings with love, dignity, and respect, and compliments, and just the deepest of friendship type relationships. I mean, you walk up, you put your arm around somebody, you hug them, you listen to their problems, you give them advice, you truly love them, you care about their situation, what's going on. Well, it's amazing how some people, how they handle it very, very well. Then you have others that they're not quite sure how to handle it. They kind of back off a little bit because nobody, I think, has ever really cared for them that way before. And then you've got a third type, and the third type thing's kind of the worst. Like, oh gosh, he's coming on to me, or whatever. And I've seen it with male on male, and female on female, and male on female, and every way you can think of. I've seen all three ways. And you've got three different types of personalities. But I'm going to tell you something. If we truly learn to love our fellow man as a true brother and sister, like I love you guys, right? If we truly love each other, we smile, we treat people with respect, and we treat people with love and affection, and with this sincere desire to want to give the best advice we possibly can, answer their questions and solve their problems to the best we possibly can, the best of our knowledge and ability. Don't ever change that. You just keep doing it, no matter how the 3 or 4 different personalities react to it. Now, when they react, they'll show themselves. And that'll all get decided. And there will be people around you who will think one thing when really another is happening. Okay? Watch out for the people who talk about behind your back. Okay? And get away from them. Your true friends will show themselves. They will. And we have not a greater time in history than right now to everybody unite, to forgive people of their differences. We all have shortcomings. We're all busy. There are all things we forget to do. Man, there's crap I'm forgetting to do lately over and over and over again. It'll be midnight and I'll go, crap, I needed to do that before 5 o'clock. Oh man, I needed it. And I can't remember everything. The stress, the strain, the number of things that we're all dealing with, working even to earn a living. Believe it or not, I do that too. But we've got to be better people. We got to live like Christ and the apostles lived. All of which were persecuted, all of which lost their fame, their fortune, their families sometimes left them high and dry, their friends left them. But what did they do? They continued to follow what they knew in their heart was right. They continued to love. They continued to give advice. They continued to preach truth. And we need to be truth seekers. We're not always going to be right, but we're going to be right more often than we're wrong if we're seeking the truth. There are people out there that believe a certain way, and they're wrong damn near 100% of the time. We're desperately seeking truth all the time, over and over and over again. And no matter what's wrong in our life, we love life and we love our people. And we can get mad. It's okay to get mad. It's okay to get angry. Earlier today, when I was talking to a couple of different prisoners who were absolutely being tortured and suffering in prison, and then my wife calls and she says it was so hot yesterday morning that she was bawling. She was crying. Another prisoner said they were crying in a different prison, and the other prison turned their water off. I told my wife that, and she was grateful that she had water.
Yep.
See, she was grateful. She came out of her mood. And you know what we did? We prayed together.